Okay, so for this one, you're going to tell me what in the world. Let's read it together. An equation containing at least one derivative is called a differential equation. Verify that the function y equals 3x squared minus 2x satisfies the differential equation x squared y double prime minus x times y prime plus y equals 3x squared. And you are like, okay, so what in the world are these two? Well, you need to find the first derivative. Okay, find y prime and y double prime. You can do that because you have the original. Okay, so the first thing that I would do is first derivative. The first derivative, you know that it's going to be 6x minus 2. The second derivative is going to be y double prime, is going to be the derivative of this equation, which is just 6. Okay, so you know that the triple derivative is going to be 0, but we don't care about that. Okay, now what are you going to do? You are going to plug, okay, the values or equations into the differential equation. Okay, the differential equation. Okay, so you are going to plug those into the differential equation. Okay, now you have this equation, so I'm going to plug x squared times, and you know that the double derivative is the value is 6 minus x, the value of the first derivative is going to be 6x minus 2, and then plus y, you know that y is going to be 3x squared minus 2x because you have it over here, and that is going to be, according to this, you want it to be equal to 3x squared. Okay, you do your operations, you have that this is 6x squared minus 6x squared because you distribute this one plus 2x plus 3x squared minus 2. Okay, so what are you going to do? And here is the question mark, right? 3x squared. So you cancel this 2, you cancel this 2, and what happens? Boom. Okay, so you have that 3x squared equals this. Therefore, what happens? Okay, thus y satisfies the differential equation. Okay, and you can put a square. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Now let's move on to the next one that we have over here. You have that the radius of a cylinder is given by 2t, and the height is root t plus 1, where t is measured in seconds and the dimensions are in inches. Find the rate of change of the volume with respect to the time. This is called a related rate. Okay, so what they are asking you here is dv, okay, dt. Okay, it's the derivative of the volume with respect to time. Okay, so what situation do you have? In this situation, what you have is you have a cylinder. Okay, not very pretty, but that's a cylinder. Okay, the radius it's 2t. Okay, and the height, you know that it's going to be root t plus 1. Okay, so you know that the volume is going to be equal to pi r squared times h. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to plug the values that I have for h and r. They tell you that this is r and this is h. Okay, so I know that this is equal to what? Okay, pi times 2t squared times root t plus 1. Okay, so you have a situation like this. Okay, in other words, let me rewrite it so you can see it more user friendly. Let's say, so you have 4t squared times t plus 1. Okay, so this is your equation. So to find dv dt, you need to take the derivative of this equation. Okay, so you have dv dt is going to be equal, and you realize, oh, this is a product. So you have this equation and this equation, so it's going to be the first one, okay, times the derivative of the second one, which you have that it's 1/2 t plus 1 to the negative half, and then you have that this is going to be times 1 because of the derivative of the inside. Okay, close that one, plus, and you have that it's going to be this guy times the derivative of this one, which you know that it's going to be 8 pi t. Okay, so summarizing this, let's simplify it a little bit. Okay, so this 4 and this 2, this one becomes a 2. Okay, so you have 2 pi. Okay, so you have that one is going to be t squared divided by root t plus 1. Okay, why? Because it's negative, plus, and you have that this one is going to be quite ugly, 8 pi t root t plus 1, and that's going to be what you have, and that one is going to be in inches cubed per second. Okay, and that's what we have for this one. Okay, so the last problem that we have over here, you have that h of x is the multiplication of f of x and g of x. Okay, and they give you the graphs. Okay, this one I'm assuming that it's f. So if you want to find h prime of 4, what are you going to do? Clearly it's a multiplication, so you're going to use the product rule. Okay, so this is going to be equal to the first one times the derivative of the second one plus the second one times the derivative of the first one, or however you remember that formula, right? So you know that h prime of 4 is going to be equal to f of 4 is going to be 4 and f is 1, okay, times g prime of 4. Okay, so g prime of 4, you know that it's here. Okay, what is the slope of g, what's the equation of the tangent line, or the slope of the tangent line of something that it's here? You know that it's basically a flat line, so the slope is going to be 0. Okay, because your equation is here horizontal. Plus g of 4, g of 4 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and g of 4 is going to be actually 8. Okay, so you see the difference between g of 4 and g prime of 4. G prime of 4 is the slope at that point, and g of 4 is actually the evaluation that you're seeing. Okay, so similarly, what do you find here for f prime of 4? F prime of 4, you go here and you're like, well, this is a linear equation. Okay, so you can do rise over run. Okay, and your rise over run, it tells you that it's, well, I'm running 4 and then I'm rising 2, so it's 2 over 4, which is 1/2. Okay, so you have that situation. Once you have that, you realize that this is going to be 0, so this is going to be 4. Okay, similarly for h prime of 8, what are you going to do? Actually, you can just copy the top part with different numbers. Okay, so you have this situation, f prime of 8. Now the difference is you're not going to evaluate at 4, you're going to look for these points at 8. Okay, so you look for f of 8. F of 8 is going to be this one, which is 6. Okay, times g prime of 8. Okay, so g prime of 8 is going to be a line that it's decreasing. Okay, so what's up with that one? That one is 4 and 4 decreasing, so it's -1. G of 8, excuse me, 8, it's going to be 3. Okay, and then f prime of 8, you see this slope. Okay, and it's quite steep, it's positive, and what's going to be this one? It's going to be 2. Okay, you apply this, you do your arithmetic, and you realize that this is -6 plus 6, which is going to be 0. Okay, and the last one that we have over here, that they ask you to find j prime of x, what are you going to do? Okay, j prime of x is going to be if you have this, is going to be the bottom one times the derivative of the top one. Okay, minus the top one times the derivative of the bottom one divided by the bottom one square. Okay, and then basically you can just, you don't know the function, so basically you are done because you don't know how the equations would look like, and that's it.